All right, hey class. So as promised, I wanted to do another video this week, walking you through the rough draft. My son won't be joining me this time. I hope he wasn't too distracting on the last video. He had a lot of fun with that. So anyway, what I want to do in this project, not this project, this video, is I want to talk through the rough draft specifically. I've had a lot of questions about it, all of which were basically revolving around the same thing. Now, one thing I want to stress is, make sure that you are watching the previous videos. A lot of time those questions are answered there, but I will reiterate the points that I covered. So for your rough draft, out of the 8 complete Cornell notes you need for the final draft, you only need 3 for the rough draft, okay? That doesn't mean 3 complete ones and 8 partial ones. It means I only care if you have 3. You can have more, but you're only expected to have 3, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2 is all of the rough draft folders are now available to you under your group. So make sure you are navigating to that. And what you'll see essentially when you get to your group and you go to your discussion board is you'll see there's now a new pinned discussion, rough draft 2. So we'll go ahead and click on that. And you'll see here that I've given you a prompt for the rough draft as well as an example of what a Cornell note will look like, okay? Now, if you want to do it just like this and just kind of delete this and plug in your points, it's totally cool, right? Every example that I give you, every outline that I give you, every template that I give you, you are free and encouraged to use them, right? That's why I'm giving them to you. So you don't have to ask like, oh, can it look like that or should it look like that? I'm giving it to you for a reason, okay? So let's take a look at what we've got here. For your rough draft, Project 2 asks you to compile a list of 8 sources related to an important topic in your field. Now, like I said, I'm working through Project 1. It seems like a lot of you have already started to identify some really good topics, okay? As I said in my previous video, you can use the article that you analyzed in Project 1 as the jumping off point, as your launch text, and then follow the works cited page in that article to find sources. Or if you wanted to, you could just go into the library, find a new launch text, and go from there. I don't care. It's up to you. Some of you have emailed me asking if you can change up your topic or whatever. Totally fine. The point is that from here on out, you're going to be kind of sticking to the same topic. And so make sure that you are sticking to one that you're actually interested in, right? And so if in Project 1, the article talked about a topic that you're not really passionate about in your field, feel free to go out and find a new article and chase down, that conversation. Totally cool, okay? You don't have to email me, just go ahead. The only thing I do want you to email me with is if you decided to switch discourse communities entirely, which I would not encourage. But if for some reason you're having a problem with your community or whatever, email me so we can discuss that, okay? Anyway, Project 2 asks you to compile a list of 8 sources related to an important topic in your field. You will format these sources as Cornell notes. Now, this is an example of a Cornell note. The Cornell system is a kind of modified annotated bibliography in which you summarize the source as a whole, record any major details or important elements, and what that means is just anything that sticks out to you as important, and create a system for organizing this information. Now, you only need 3 sources for this draft. You'll need 8 sources for the final. So here's the format that I've given you that would be a really good idea for you to follow because it will make your life much easier. So here you go. For each one, you must have the title and the author, okay? If you do not have this, you will be getting points off. I need to know where these things are coming from, and also you should know where they're coming from, okay? Now you'll see here that I've basically got a table divided into a few different parts. I've got a table over here, one here, okay? So for each little cell, I've kind of described what should be in there. So in the cell on the left for this source, you should have any keywords, major themes, or brief annotations. So for example, and this is kind of what I put down here, the point of this column is for you to include whatever information you need in order to be able to look at this passage and know exactly what the source talked about. For example, if I was to do this as an article I'm using for my dissertation, I might use something like economy or immigrants because I'm looking at articles that all relate to immigration and labor. So what that means is if I was doing this for my project, what I would do is I would have the title and author of the article that I read, and then in this little column over here, I would have those kind of keywords. I would just say like immigrants, economy, migration, whatever it might be, right? Just those little blurbs in there so that when I pull this back out, instead of having to read all this, or anything else, I can look at it and be like, oh, this article is about economy. That goes in this pile. This article is about immigration. That goes in this pile. Whatever it is. And so for you, if you're, say, doing medical or business or something like that, you might have, for business, you might have like supply chain or payroll or whatever it is. So we're just looking for those little quick blurbs that you can look at and be like, oh, that's what this article is about. So that's the point of that column, is to help you sort through this stuff really quickly. And I want to come back to that in a minute. In this column, you'll have more detail. So for example, if I were to put economy here for my article as one of the kind of keywords, then over here I would have things from the article dealing with economy. So for example, I might say on page 2, the author talks about migrants and economy. And then I would have a quick quote. So I might have a few of those over here. On page 5, the author talks about this, and then here's a quick quote. So that's how it works. So here is your kind of information and a quote that kind of describes that information, and then a keyword related to that. So the idea is that you'll have maybe 3 or 4 main points over here with like a keyword for each, right? So that you can just look at it and know. Or maybe one keyword for multiple quotes, however it works out, okay? Down here, you will have a summary of the source as a whole. So just a quick blurb. In this article, the author makes this argument and says X, Y, and Z. Okay, and then just a citation. Sorry if you can hear my dogs wrestling out there. They've been cooped up all day, so they're a little crazy. Okay, so that is a Cornell note. You have keywords on one side, major points and quotes on another side, and then a summary. Okay, that's all I'm looking for 3 of those articles. Now, obviously, the final product, you'll have 8 of these, right? But that's really what we're looking for. So I hope this helps kind of clear up what it is that I'm looking for, what I'm expecting, okay? If you do still have questions, obviously, please feel free to email me. I'm trying to get to them as fast as possible. However, if I'm getting multiple emails about the same thing, instead of responding directly to you, I'll do something like this or send out a mass email or a notification, okay? Okay, so what I want to circle back to is what I talked about over here, these keywords. I'll talk about this in detail in the video next week, but essentially these keywords are going to help you make that kind of word map that's also a part of this. Don't worry about that right now. You don't need it for your rough draft, but that is kind of how we'll be using this, and that is how you will be making that word cloud bubble thing. I forget the exact phrase that we used in the assignment description. Okay, so just to recap, you only need 3 sources for the rough draft. Here is your template. Use the template. It's a really easy template to follow. Just, fill in the blanks, essentially, and you should be good to go. So please, like I said, email me if you have any questions. Get your rough drafts up there. Since I'm uploading this late, it's fine if you get your draft uploaded tomorrow afternoon or whatever. Just get it up there. Give your peers some feedback. Oh, the other thing that I want to talk about real quick, let's just go back, is so when you do open this up, just post your draft as a reply to my initial thread. You can attach a document here, or you can copy and paste your draft into the text box. I don't care, whatever is easier for you. And then to comment on your peers, just do like you did last time, just reply to their thread, and you will be good to go. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Like I said, I'm working through your project 1s. I'm getting through those as fast as possible. I should have them done soon. Have a fantastic weekend. Let me know if you need any help, and I will talk to you guys later.